Okay. I'm trying to see if everything's out, everything's working and stuff. Okay. I'm trying to see if everything's out, everything. All right. It sounds like it's working, y'all. All right. So I went for my other co-host to get here. So we have breaking news, y'all. Dejounte Murray has been traded from the San Antonio Spurs to the Atlanta Hawks for what I'm reading right now is Danilo Gallinari, multiple first-round picks, and pick swaps. So that's a steal. That is just a steal. There is no way you should be able to get a caliber of Dejounte Murray over to the Atlanta Hawks by just giving them pick swaps. Like, no Okongwu. I really thought Okongwu was going to have to be a part of this deal for anyone to be able to, for they to be able to get Dejounte Murray. But he didn't have to. And I have this picture right here up, y'all. If we look up Dejounte Murray's stats for this season while we wait, it's crazy. You're pairing this guy with an all-star. You're getting a 21.1 points per game player with 8.3 rebounds that averages 9.2 assists in the backcourt with Trae Young. You get all that with Trae Young. Let me bring up Trae Young's stats, because Trae Young also has really amazing stats. Trae stats, if that would just come up like that. Trae Young this year averaged 29 points per game with 9 assists. You get 2 players in your backcourt who averaged 9 assists. And you didn't even have to trade John Collins, one of your other all-star. Well, I don't know what you consider John Collins. It's really dependent on who you talk to. But you got to keep him for another potential trade. You kept John Collins, and you also kept Onyeka Okongwu. All you had to do was give up your future, but that is okay when you're trying to compete. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. You put somebody really good defensively in the backcourt with Trae Young. It's crazy. You just put somebody in the backcourt with Trae Young who can really close off all the things that we see defensive, how do I put this? Cover up all of his defensive liabilities. He's not going to do it he's going to cover up the majority of it. When you have Dejounte in the backcourt, Trae Young's not going to have to guard the leading point guard or shooting guard, who's ever scoring most buckets. It's just going to help Trae Young out on defense, and you still have tradable assets like John Collins. And if you want to, Onyeka Okongwu, who I think you could trade those two and get an all-star to pair with them. I would get another defensive all-star. I don't know who's on the market right now you could get, but just the mere fact that they got another all-star player to pair up with their superstar Trae Young just makes this entirely crazy, y'all. This is the NBA offseason. The NBA offseason is a crazy time for every single NBA team. You make trades. You win, you lose some trades too. And I got to say, the San Antonio Spurs lost this trade. I get you're getting all these picks, but if you're giving them an all-star player in return, you know they're going to have a better record than what they did previously. They didn't even have to give up anybody of real importance. So what they should have did was got Onyeka Okongwu and get a young asset that could also develop, because they need a good center when they have to maybe trade or not sign Jakob Poeltl anymore. And it's just really, really wild. They let this trade happen just for pick swaps and first-round picks. Because if Atlanta Hawks, if this is a good trade, which I think it is for the Atlanta Hawks, and they get who they wanted, and they get a good record and go back on their winning spree they did last year's playoffs, y'all, my man Trae Young and Dejounte Murray are going to be off, and the San Antonio Spurs are going to look a little bit like some losers. So we did just see from Zach Lowe that the 2025 and 2027 first rounders are unprotected. So that's cool, but I mean, it depends. I mean, Trae Young's young and Dejounte Murray is definitely young. That is just 3 years from now, Dejounte will be 28, and Trae will probably be I don't know how old he's, probably 23 right now. He'll probably be 26. I don't know off the top of my head. But that's crazy. I mean, if they somehow aren't good, then that's crazy. I don't know how they wouldn't be good. So yeah, I'm looking more. I'm looking more at the trade, and yeah, that's all I can really find. That is really crazy that they let that trade happen. and I I'm stunned. I'm stunned to speak. That's really all I can say. Let me see. Can I add the call now? Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to see if it's gonna work. All right, y'all. I'm back for the time being. I was making sure this, gave me a good time. Just trying to see if he's, whenever he's ready to get on real quick, so I could really, we could really talk about this. Cause just talking about myself is, I sound like a crazy man. Cause this was a crazy trade. So, if anyone's watching right now, what are y'all thoughts on the trade? How do y'all think, do y'all think the San Antonio Spurs have something else planned? I definitely know the Atlanta Hawks have something else planned. If they can, I don't know what they want to do. I have no idea what they want to do. But we'll see. We will see. Is what all I got to say is we will see what they have to do. For the upcoming season. I guess while I wait, we can also talk about the John Wall trade, y'all. John Wall was traded to the Clippers. I want to give that a whole separate video, because John Wall's one of my favorite players at the point guard position, and I think it deserves some recognition, that he deserves, because he finally gets to play basketball after a really really long time. The free agency has been crazy. Trades usually don't start trades usually start early, but real free agency is tomorrow. Hopefully we will be on. I'll have my other host Cameron on too. This was very out of the blue, so this is probably why it's taking a minute. One of my other co-hosts, Cameron, he's out of town right now, so I don't think he'd be able to participate. So it's just crazy. That's how trade season is. It always is. Everyone's getting traded and getting signed. I mean, it's just been a crazy situation. Whew. Bad if y'all heard it in the background. Just trying to hear what the audio sounds like, because this is some breaking news. I guess we can also look at some. We could look at some freaking Dejounte Murray highlights while we wait. Can I not spell? Okay, let's see some Dejounte Murray highlights. Might want to turn down the volume because it might be too loud. Okay, it's already down. Not known as the best three-point shooter, we already know this, but he is very killer in the mid-range. Also, a really, really good playmaker. This is a very short highlight reel. Did he not play that much that game? Huh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a short highlight. Maybe he doesn't just show all the highlights on here right now. But that is crazy. Okay, this was the one. All right, let's look at this. Dejounte Murray drops 20 points and 11 rebounds. Okay, gets the ball in transition. Yo, there we go. Hey, he ain't afraid to shoot that thing. He might not make the thing, but he ain't afraid to shoot it. I'll tell you that. Waya. Whew. Looks clean, Dejounte. Looks clean. Bang. Yeah, Dejounte killing that. Ooh. My bad if I'm quiet right now. It is crazy. I'm making sure Woj didn't update anything else while I wait. Okay, it looks good. I think that's everything that they got for Woj, or at least from Woj. Crazy situation right now with Dejounte Murray. Let's look at some other people's thoughts about the situation. I'm going on Twitter right now, you know? Okay. So we got Kenny Beecham. You know, he had to say a few words about it. And, you know, he just said when they traded your favorite player and it sent a really weird player, a really weird picture of somebody. NBA Central. There's just a lot of people who posted some stuff. Suns believe they could find another player as good as oh, there he is. Yo, what's good, man? Make sure the audio is working. Yo. Make sure the audio is working.
Oh.
Yo, make sure the audio is working. You can hear me? Oh. Yeah, hello?
Alright, you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure the audio sounds good. We're live streaming right now. Yeah, you can hear me though?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I just gave my previous thoughts on the trade. What you thinking about it, man? What you thinking?
Now look, let me tell y'all, look. For all people out there listening, your boy got a flight to catch in the morning. I don't stop packing. I gotta drive 4 hours home. Like right before this, right? I stopped everything because I was like, yo, I gotta come on a podcast with my boy.
Thank you, man.
I gotta
Thank
do
you.
this. And man, as far as the trade goes, bro, I got so much to say. Like I'm absolutely mind boggled right now. Like absolutely confused. I'm bewildered. I'm bamboozled. I'm all type of words and adjectives, bro. Like I mean, we have reports, for the last couple of years that Pop might retire. I've always said that if Pop was going to retire, they should go full rebuild. But that was also before I realized that Dejounte Murray was an all-star. Now, I already have my reservations about Dejounte Murray because I don't think Dejounte Murray should have been an all-star over Brandon Ingram. That's just that, but it happened.
Understandable.
But, I mean, I ain't saying he doesn't deserve it. I do think he should have been there, but in my world, it would have been, B.I. and Dejounte over, like, Andrew Wiggins. But that's neither here nor there. But Dejounte Murray, first-time all-star, it's just so weird to me that a first-time all-star and somebody whose career has elevated these past, well, especially this past year, so much, that he'll be surrounded by so many trade rumors and then ultimately get traded. I don't understand that.
Like, especially how young he is, too. Like, at only 25, getting traded from a rebuilding team, that you don't see that very often.
And I mean, unless he on the slick requested a trade, I can understand. But like, this dude, last time I checked, was still on a rookie scale contract for an extension. So it's just unheard of to me that as a team, if you claim, because even with the Spurs confuse the hell out of me. They're kind of like the Trailblazers, but I can understand the Trailblazers a little bit more. I don't know what the Spurs are doing. I don't know where they want to go. They've been hovering between like the 10th seed to the 8th seed for the past like 2-3 years when they should have been asked.
Really though.
And it's like they want to let. And I really hate to see Pop lose. Like, he's a legendary coach. I think he needs to stop ruining his damn overall record fucking around with this team right now.
Honestly.
Right? I don't want him to have the Phil Jackson treatment and, kind of tarnish his legacy a little bit because of, some terrible teams. So I'm really trying to understand if they're going full rebuild.
See,
I guess because Danilo Gallinari isn't a young player.
Exactly.
And I don't know that
the rumors
contract, but if it's not expiring, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
I think the contract is expiring though. But when we saw previous tweets from Woj and Shams, they were like interested in a young player like Onyeka Okongwu, which I thought they were going to get in a trade because they needed a center after they probably like trade or don't re-sign Jakob Poeltl. So I'm like, what are they going to do now? Like, they're going to get Onyeka Okongwu. And in the trade, they didn't get Onyeka Okongwu. So I'm just confused on the route they're trying to go with. Even with all the picks, they traded them an all-star caliber player. Their record is obviously going to increase because they didn't have to give up anybody like John Collins or Clint Capella. They kept those, which they can also make another trade with John Collins. Exactly.
That's what really gets me. That John Collins has been under trade rumors just about as much as Miles Turner. And for some reason, them dudes just never get traded. And you get an all-star caliber player who's 25 on a good deal for one of your oldest players that's on an expiring contract and some first-round picks that ain't gonna matter because the teams that keep this team together, they're gonna be a top 4, top 5 seed in the East easily every single year. So these picks ain't worth shit.
Exactly.
So for a rebuilding team, especially like I say, even if we are a full rebuild. If you're doing full rebuild, I can understand, if Dejounte Murray didn't have the season that he had, if he wasn't an all-star. But he was an all-star.
Exactly.
He had an amazing season. At that point, you need to say, well, hold on. We need to kick this rebuild into overdrive, and let's try to get on the timeline that OKC's on. Right? I think OKC in about 3 years are going to be a problem. I think the Spurs, they're probably about 5 years away at this point because their team is just so
really young.
Just so I don't understand the team. I know they're
Lonnie Walker's probably not re-signing either.
Yeah, he said he's not re-signing. Like, I don't understand where we're going. If I'm the Spurs, you draft Jeremy Sohan, who I think is already a reach. So I'm not really. I mean, and then they get Malachi Branham. That's cool, but is Malachi Branham going to replace Dejounte Murray? No.
No.
At least it's too early to tell, but I don't think he will.
Me either. It's hard to replace a two-way player like Dejounte Murray, especially in this. Like, no one's trying to play defense like Dejounte is.
I'm just so confused, man. I'm so
really
confused.
Though, and the picks are not going to be that good because Atlanta is going to get better. Even if they don't trade anybody on this roster, just by getting Dejounte, they are a better team than they previously were. It is crazy that they let this happen. Like, this is such a bad trade for San Antonio. It would have been, I would have said it's a great trade instead of Danilo, or maybe keep Danilo Gallinari and add Okongwu. Just somebody young, or even a Jalen Johnson or Sharif Cooper.
I would have needed somebody more. I would have needed somebody more.
Or maybe a Sharif Cooper. I mean, if they really wanted to trade him to Atlanta, which I would rather trade him to the Knicks, get Mitchell Robinson, and maybe Emmanuel quickly. Like, that's such a better deal than what you get. I'd rather get those two than the first round picks because those are players that you have right now.
I mean, they could have gotten Kevin Huerter, Bogdanovich. Like, that team is stacked. Like, if the Hawks,
exactly.
I'm already just saying the Hawks should have won. Well, I ain't gonna say won the chip, but I thought honestly they were gonna come out of the East because they got Trae Young, John Collins. I don't remember if Clint Capella's still there. If he is still there, that's cool. Onyeka Okongwu, nice young prospect. You got Gallinari, a shooter. You got Bogdanovich, another shooter. You got Kevin Huerter, once again another shooter. You got DeAndre Hunter, 3-and-D. Like, the team is stacked. The team.
You surrounded a non-shooter, quotation marks, in Dejounte Murray with shooters and playmakers. Like, just those two, and like Dejounte, he might have some things about being off-ball, but in the beginning of his career, he was an off-ball player. So, especially like how smart he is IQ-wise, and Trae Young, I think they're going to fit perfectly in the backcourt.
Exactly, but see, we keep shitting on the Spurs right now. I'm gonna get back to the Spurs, but for the Hawks though, I'm very proud. I gotta clap my hands to them, man, because this is some very nice roster rebuild, and they've done this roster rebuild so quietly and so slick, and like it's just little moves. Like, I didn't say little moves. This ain't a little move, but it's just moves like this. This makes a difference. And if I'm a Hawks fan, I'm really happy, and I think that now this team, especially they keep John Collins, this team will be better than the Celtics. It will be better than the Bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they got everything at this point. Like, they have Trae Young, who's probably one of the weakest guards on defense. Now they give him one of the best guards on defense to pair alongside.
San Antonio is in the running for having the weirdest offseason beginning. Like, it's just technically free agency doesn't start until tomorrow at 6. But we're probably going to even get more breaking news. But they're in a running right now with the Knicks for the weirdest moves made this offseason. Hopefully all of it pans out, except for like the Knicks. I hope they don't pan out because it's the Knicks. But for the Spurs, I mean, no ill will. We'll see what they do. I don't think there's much they can do besides not re-sign Lonnie Walker and just tank. And at that point, they just need to let Popovich go because, like, what's the point of getting, like, trying to give a tanking team wins? They're trying to tank for the number 1 pick next year, and I mean that's all I can see with them trying to do.
I mean, I was just about to say the thing that I can see is, I mean, let's just be honest, Victor Wembanyama, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Wembanyama.
Number 1 pick.
Or him and Scoot.
Or Imani Bates.
Or Scoot.
Yeah.
I don't know about Imani, bro. Imani was kind of suspect this college season, though. But if he do up his game in this upcoming college season.
He just committed to Eastern Michigan. So
yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
Maybe he can revive himself there. But,
hopefully.
I mean, you can trade, theoretically, you can trade these picks. Right, let's be honest, what team's probably going to be the worst team? Maybe the Spurs, maybe the Blazers.
Probably Houston.
Houston will probably be down there.
Orlando, probably.
Orlando is going to be down there. So let's just say, right, with Orlando. Orlando also has a weird little roster, too. I'm trying to figure out what the hell they want to do there because it's like, it seems like they're trying to build young, but the young pieces aren't that great or not.
They got to trade my man Terrence Ross to the Clippers, man.
They're just not. Their young players just not on the level of what I see OKC young players being or Houston's young players. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as the trade go, let's say if they get the Magic, right? The Magic could get these 3, 4, however many Atlanta picks for the first pick in the draft next year if they get it. They give it to the Spurs. Spurs draft pick. that's your new guy right there. That could be your next Tim Duncan, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, for right now, because we're not forced to tell us, we don't know what the hell is gonna happen. But so I'm going to talk about right now. This is a terrible trade for the Spurs. If you're committing to a full rebuild, I think you should have committed to the full rebuild probably a year or two ago.
Really,
instead of lying to yourself like this and trying to compete when you know you don't have anything close to competing, and you're just wasting Pop's time. You just are. So if you're going to commit to the full rebuild, also fully commit to the rebuild with a player. Usually teams that fully commit to rebuild have either one like fantastic piece on the team that they can build around, or they have nothing. So you had a piece, and it seems to me like Dejounte didn't mind. Dejounte's on just Twitter just saying, look, I'm here for wherever the hell I get traded.
Exactly. I don't even think he cares.
I don't care. He just wants to hoop. He's like, look, I love the Spurs. I also love every other team. They want me. Like, I don't care. He's just sitting there, going along with it, going for the ride. If he would have re-signed with the Spurs, sure, I guarantee he would have done it 100%. Well, fuck, he got traded. So, here we are.
He's getting money either way.
He's getting money either way. He don't care. About me, let's look at it from Celtics' perspective. I mean, if all we had to give up was 3 first-round picks.
That is so crazy. We could have gave him a way better deal than that. Jackson Hayes right there, already somebody you want.
Already better. Right
exactly.
There. Honestly, I'd give him 3 first-round picks, DG, and you give him Tony Snell too. Why the hell not? I think DG and Tony Snell would equal a Danilo Gallinari nowadays. We ain't talking about Nuggets and Clippers Danilo Gallinari.
And honestly, who picks do they have? They have just Atlanta picks. Atlanta's picks are going to be good, is what I'm trying to say. So we have like different types of picks. We're not going to be. I think we still have the Laker picks. I'd trade 2 Laker picks or something. Our pick swaps for Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, that is. Also, we have. Technically we don't have the pick, but if it ends up being the 4th pick in the draft or less, then we do get it back. Mm-hmm. I think where's that pick at now? Detroit, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's with Detroit. Yeah.
That pick being passed around.
It's getting passed around more than. I'm not gonna say that joke. It's kind of washed, but it's kind of washed. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Well, I mean, we have a good lottery test of picks. I will say I wish we had a little bit more, more picks. But I mean,
I'm not complaining. To get a player like that, like Dejounte Murray, and still keeping your entire roster, that's the thing that got me tripped up, man. At least get one of their star players.
You got their entire, like, John Collins was right there. Like, I'm pretty sure they are dangling John Collins. Like, oh yeah, we'll give you John Collins, and they just straight up said, no, we don't want him. They're like, you for real? Yeah, we cool on it. We'll take Danilo Gallinari. You serious? Are like 7th man in the rotation, 8th man in the rotation? Yeah, him. All right, for sure. Cool.
And they're fine with that.
It doesn't really make much sense to me, especially since all week I have just been hearing Dejounte Murray straight up with some Dejounte Murray for John Collins and some picks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then last minute I heard Okongwu, so I'm like, okay, that makes more sense because if they were trying to go full rebuild, which that's a player you start for rebuild with, because then they'll have the final piece, like a final young, because they have every one of their positions has a young, like they have Vassell, they have Primo, they have Sochan, they have Branham. Now if they got a young center who has like a lot of defensive upside in Okongwu, they'll be set. And then you just build up with those pieces. And hopefully you get a first-round pick, and then you start winning again. Mm-hmm. But that's just one of the most questionable moves I think the Spurs have made in this last decade. Because honestly... What were you saying? Not gonna lie, you might have to repeat that. It was glitching out a little bit.
Yeah, my internet cut out. The Spurs front office has been solid for years, for decades. Like, we know this. Like, we've seen what they've done. They've always had talent. They've had one of the best dynasties in history. Like, it's just weird that they just had such a brain fart right now. And
Honestly.
like I said, if I'm Pop, I'm taking this and say, hey, I'm getting the hell out of here. I mean, hell, you seen with the Saints, even the smallest inclination of rebuilding, Sean Payton said, shit, I'm out this bitch. Like, he said, I'm not with that. I'm a winning coach. I'm not about to sit here and waste my time on some rebuild shit. I'm just not.
And I can't
So,
even blame him, but I would definitely not blame Pop if he just headed out at this time because I would do the same thing if I was in his shoes. Because I mean, even if they did get Okongwu, I mean they're rebuilding. Pop doesn't want to sit through another rebuild unless he just doesn't care anymore, and he just wants to like coach more basketball. Which if he's fine with that, that's cool. But I still think you got robbed. Like wholeheartedly, you got robbed. Unless there's something
definitely
they know
got
that we don't, but there it can't be because Dejounte Murray at worst, last time we saw him play, he was like really sick, and he played in a play-in tournament against the Pelicans, and he still was doing his thing, and he was like uber sick. He lost like 50 pounds or something. It was crazy.
I mean, if you look at it too, right? Uh, shit, it's kind of like the situation with Drew Holiday. Everybody was looking at his ass backwards like, man, why did y'all trade Drew Holiday? And it came out a couple months later, oh, he low-key asked for a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, if that was the case, I could understand. Because, I mean, DeJounte was acting a little spicy on Twitter. He just was.
Yeah, he was acting. He was like following the freaking Trey Young and all the Hawks players, and then putting the popcorn emojis. He was, he's a little troll.
Yeah, he
It's
was,
like Embiid.
he was out there trolling. I mean,
I don't blame him.
I would guess that's the case, that he asked for a trade. Now, as for why, I don't understand why he would. I guess he also doesn't want to rebuild, but I'm gonna tell you what. Here's something that not a lot of people talk about either. This damn new CBA is gonna come out. I mean, I think this is probably gonna be the biggest CBA.
Yeah, they're gonna make so much money from these new TV deals.
Because I ain't gonna lie, the player empowerment, David Stern is goddamn rolling in his grave right now. This wouldn't be happening in no David Stern league. Oh no. All these young players on rookie deals talking about, I don't want to go here, I want to go there. Nope. David Stern be like, nope, your ass is going to re-sign with that team that you got drafted by. You're going to sit there. So, I mean, Adam Silver's been cool with that, but I do think that it's a little bit telling that we just got like the guys like Dr. Murray who has one All-Star game under their belt and just kind of, you know what I'm saying? But that's just if you request the trade.
I don't think he did though, because he doesn't seem like he would have really cared. If something comes out like he did request a trade, I wouldn't blame him. But like, oh my gosh. I follow a Spurs fan, Cavs. I forgot the name of the channel off the top of my head, but like really good content. I can tell he's gonna be pissed. But to be honest with you, I just want to talk about what's your predictions for the Atlanta Hawks this upcoming season.
They gotta come out. They gotta come out the East. Come out of Eastern bust. Eastern Conference Finals are bust.
Eastern Conference Finals are a bust.
That's just facts. It just is. I think objectively, on paper, their team is better than the Celtics. I think the Celtics were probably like the Suns in this case. They're just one of those Cinderella teams. It happened. I can't really say Cinderella because there was one seed, but you know, it's just like the Suns. You know, they the one seed last year. Everybody's like, oh, everybody expected the Suns to do this. I sure as hell wasn't expecting the Celtics to come out. I wasn't. And they had their chance, and it's gone. Yeah, we know how fast championship windows go. So
we definitely do.
I think that's the last we've seen the Celtics. I think the Hawks have something going here. Hopefully, this won't be. God, I can't remember the years, but it was when they had ISO Joe, Josh Smith, Al Horford. Those years, Paul Millsap. They were just like a top 3 seed.
And then they didn't do nothing. They had Kyle Korver and everybody.
Like, them teams was ridiculous. Like, I used to love watching them Hawks teams. I just hope that they don't end up like that. It's very possible, but I don't know, but I mean, as a Pelicans fan, I'm happy with it either way because, goddamn it, he's going to the East. That's another All-Star out of the West.
Honestly,
Completely
though.
fine with that. And I
Honestly,
mean,
then Jalen Brunson with his All-Star contract is heading out the West too. So.
speaking of that, I mean, James Harden declined his options. So
Hey,
Bradley Beal. I
that's
think both of them
crazy.
is going to end up re-signing with the team just for more cap flexibility. But it is interesting that they did do that.
Yeah, we got John Wall to the Clippers. I don't know if we really talked about that. You got any thoughts on that?
If John Wall can actually still play basketball pretty okay, I can see this going one or two ways. I can see him just going right back in stride, which is to me unlikely.
Hello? Oh. Fortunate situation here. The call ended. I will see. Can I restart the call? Hello? My connection is too weak right now. Hello?
All right, yeah, my shit's
Yeah.
tripping.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You might have to continue what you were saying. How you were saying.
Yeah. So, well, I was gonna go into. So my boy Logan hit me up. He texted me about Patty Mills. Now, if y'all don't know about Patty Mills is an absolute Pelicans killer. It just seems like every time we play Patty Mills, he's dropping 30. Especially when he plays for the Spurs. That's how that shit works. But he's interested in Patty Mills, and he's telling me that Devontae Graham, Tony Snell, and a pick for a pick should get Patty Mills. And
Honestly, as a mentor
Logan, I love you, Logan, but I'm gonna have to say hell no to that.
for Patty Mills,
Hell
I
no.
mean, it might be a over. Wait, what are we giving up again?
Devontae Graham, Tony Snell, and a pick.
Why the pick? Why the pick though?
I don't know. It's a pick for a pick, so essentially we're getting a Nets pick. But it's like we don't need to do that.
Yeah,
So,
I don't really see the point. I mean, maybe as a mentor for Dyson Daniels because they're both from Australia. Aussie connection might be a
but see,
good.
the thing is though, he declined his player option, so he's going into free agency. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't have to do that anyway.
Yeah, we just
And
have to
I'm
sign him.
not trading Devontae. I'm not even trading Devontae Graham straight up for Patty Mills. I mean, it's so subjective the value of these players, but
Honestly, because I thought Dejounte Murray get more.
Yeah, Dejounte Murray gets traded for Danilo Gallinari and some picks. I mean, whatever. And you know what? That really just speaks volumes to the Pelicans. I have not seen a haul that was anywhere near
The AD one?
anywhere close as the AD haul. Even
honestly.
James Harden hauls have not been anywhere close. Now, I mean, it might be too early to tell because we don't know what those picks are going to turn into. But I mean, AD essentially turned into Bi Lonzo, which then turned into Satoransky and Garrett Temple, who then turned into Devontae Graham. I think I'm on the right track there.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who then turned into C.J. McCollum. I know I'm forgetting a couple players here, but Dyson Daniels turned into Dyson Daniels too. So essentially, you get and I mean Jonas. I'm pretty sure that somehow factored in. So I'm going to say essentially AD. We trade AD for Bi, CJ, some more picks, Dyson Daniels and Jonas Valanciunas. I mean, there's no haul in recent years that has even been close to that, and I don't even think that people realize how monumental that shit has become.
That's a haul, folks.
Like, and Josh Hart. We had Josh Hart, bro. Like, all that turned into CJ. We turned AD into essentially 3 All-Star caliber players.
Honestly, though.
I mean, 1 All-Star caliber player for 3, and then AD's been on decline ever since. I mean, I'm cool with that. You know, he won a little chip, whatever. Hey,
that's all he wanted anyway.
Yeah, we up. He broke. That's all.
You can say that again.
But as far as that's all I got for today. Spurs, you get a D. Matter of fact, you get an F. You get an F right now. Could move up to a D. Considering what you do with these picks, but I just don't understand it. This is a bone to move.
I mean, this is free agency. There's a lot of random things happen.
I mean, he is on an expiring contract. I mean, sure, but
yeah.
I mean, hopefully this trade isn't done, and there might be more stuff to come out, but I doubt it. So
I guess that's probably it. I highly doubt anything more or else exciting today happens today. So that's probably everything for today. Probably definitely will be on tomorrow though, because it is the start of free agency officially at 6 o'clock. So we'll probably hear a lot of stuff.
To the next. I want to see it.
Hey, we're gonna see it. All-Star Brunson.
For that damn sake, I hope they see it too, because how monumental would that be? You went from Zion, Kyrie, and KD to asking for Jalen Brunson, and if honestly, it would be equally as sloppy to say I signed Jalen Brunson to a $25 million deal, as well as saying, oh, well, I missed out on Jalen Brunson, trying to sign him to a $25 million deal. Mm-hmm. That's just equally as sloppy and nasty. So, if I'm a Knicks fan, there's no win for this. You get a permanent hell for this. Like, there's no win in this Jalen Brunson shit. There just isn't.
Honestly, though. Well, I guess that's it. Do you think?
Yep. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I guess that was our first ever In the Loops with the Hoops live stream, you know. Had to switch it up for today because this is some breaking news. I got a random thumbnail up there, and I got to, go ahead and edit that one. But I guess that's it for y'all today. This was I'm Avion. This was Calvin, and we hope y'all enjoyed this kind of unexpected episode of In the Loops with the Hoops, and I guess we're going to stop streaming. All right, peace, y'all.
Whew. All right, man. Let me know when that shit is up. I'm